Broadcasting. We are live. So nice. Welcome, Dr. Patricia. Welcome to the Women's Empowerment Series. Today it's a fun day because I got two of them. We had one earlier with Reem Ahmed. She was talking about love and showing her book, but I'm so honored and so happy to have you, Dr. Patricia Petralba, today. You are a doctor and you are in a field that everybody is so inclined and interested to learn more of, which is the wellness and the well-being. And so it's really nice. So the Women Empowerment Series is actually a series for women to showcase women who are doing inspiring things, who are helping other women, who are helping other women and men around the world in improving their way of living and also helping them through their journey for success. So I'm so honored to have you. Welcome, Dr. Patricia.
Thank you, Dr. Hynd. And the honor is mine as well, empowering other women. And I believe that in leadership, the foundation is always like health, mindset, and perception. No? I'm excited to talk to you about how I infuse integrative medicine so women can be more of empowered and leaders.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me about you. Tell us how it started. Who is Dr. Patricia? You're a medical doctor and you're doing so much good. So tell me how it all started for you.
Right. Yeah. So I'm an integrative physician, MD, and integrative medicine, which essentially means combining East and West medicine. So all the good stuff of naturopathic, energy medicine, acupuncture, bridging to like functional biohacking, nutrition, conventional, even pharmaceutical. But
Okay.
always in the philosophy of making sure we address the root cause and not just symptom reduction. So from going to survival mode with your mental health, physical health, purpose, to actually feeling thriving and in alignment. So my story really started, I was being trained as a conventional MD.
Okay.
And I graduated medicine feeling like I didn't really have the framework to turn on spontaneous healing. Like I was so good at ordering, okay, what test, what pharmaceutical, but root cause was just not really part of the philosophy of conventional allopathic medicine. That didn't sit well with me. And so then I started my own healing because I got so burnt out from medicine. So here I am, an MD, and not in my best health, mental health, physical health. I was so overweight, a lot of acne, not in the best mental headspace.
But then again, being a doctor, it's a lot of studies
Oh,
and
yeah.
hard studying. So
Yes.
you've gone through very advanced studies.
Right.
Yeah.
Studying is like our life.
It is. Mainly when you were a doctor, it's like, you spend years doing only that. It's like just that's what you do. You wake up, you take the book, and like,
Right.
and you learn.
Yeah. And so that's what led me to training in integrative. It's a specialty, again, like using root cause.
Okay.
Did corporate medicine for at least, I don't know, like 7 years, but I've been in practice for 14 years.
Wow.
And
You practice as a doctor,
yes, as a doctor.
as a general doctor, or specifically for well-being and mental health, as an
So,
MD.
yeah,
Yeah.
I started with primary care, general medicine, and hospital medicine. So I did all the ICU, emergency room,
Wow.
primary care. And what I found was even though I had the heart and the training to do root cause, I'm in the framework of insurance based. We just didn't have the time. Corporate medicine is like revolving door medicine.
Yeah.
And you know how synchronicity works. When I gave birth, my daughter didn't want to take the bottle.
Okay. Oh, so you
Yeah,
had to breastfeed her.
yeah. So she was exclusively breastfed.
Incredible. Uh-huh.
Year old. So I'm a mom of two, and I just could not go back to where I was.
Yes.
knowing that my daughter was having, difficulty with bottle feeding. And at the same time, I already felt like it wasn't true medicine what I'm practicing. So
Mm.
her having that, like, she can't even express milk in the bottle, she didn't like. So it was my, like, sign from the universe, like it's
Yes.
time to set up my own and
Mm.
serve the world how
Differently.
I can serve fully and wholly, kind of how I'm mothering my children.
Yeah. It's
Because
like being exactly you as a
exactly,
mom, as a woman. I
yes,
love that.
yes,
So you had to stay with your daughter all the time,
yeah,
Alyssa.
yeah,
You can
yes.
go to the hospital probably, or probably take her with you. No?
No, I went on a maternity leave for 6 months, and then the maternity leave turned into my resignation.
Okay, because you had the awakening.
Yes, and
Yeah.
honestly, some of my patients were wise enough, like, you're not coming back.
Oh,
They
they
knew.
told you that they knew
Yeah,
it, huh?
they knew.
Oh, interesting.
And that's when I
When was
built
that?
my own practice. Huh?
When was it? When was it?
This was 4 years ago, and
Okay,
I've been in practice on my own for 3 years.
amazing. That's
Yes.
really nice. And so, as a practitioner on your own, did you use a conventional medicine, or that's the time where you start introducing new things?
I did all. So sometimes we would do naturopathic, acupuncture,
Oh,
energy healing. So all the
okay.
stuff, depending on what they're open to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. The
Yeah.
patient, you mean? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And what did you really love? Like you, Dr. Patricia. Patricia, what
Oh,
do you love really?
you know,
Yeah.
what I love is when they make the connection.
Hmm.
When they start to realize as they share their stories,
Yes.
what's the story inside their head
Yeah.
in terms of, like, how they're seen and heard during childhood, how
Mm.
they're seen and heard at work,
Mm.
they perceive stress and their relationship
Hmm.
arises in their mind body.
Yeah. So when the synchronicity, when they start
And
understanding the
yeah,
linkages, yeah,
right. And
incredible.
you have that, like, aha, okay, so now
That's
we
why.
understand everything is connected. Mhm.
So do you think this is more a mental sphere, like a mental in the mental medical area? You as a doctor, understanding the mental side, is it only as a, you think, from a medical perspective, do you think it's mental health, or is it beyond that? Because you are linking everything, not just the
Mhm.
mental, really, the
Yeah.
whole body.
I think it's everything. It's mind, body, spirit. So it could be, um, you know, patterns that you,
Mhm.
from a cultural standpoint, to how your parents was. So it could be like, for example, your mom
Yeah.
didn't have much boundaries with her time. And
Mm.
so most of the women I see will also be in that, like, doing, 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 and pleasing everyone.
Oh
And
yeah.
they get PMS, they get menopause, hot flashes, because they saw their mothers, kind of overworking,
Mm.
and didn't have a good boundary of saying, no, I need my time. I need, self-care.
That's
And
right.
saying no is so hard for a lot of women.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So the short answer is that it's not just mental, it's like mind, body, spirit. Hmm.
Which is beyond that, which is
Yeah,
like it's a higher level, really,
right.
because it includes not only your understanding of the body, but and
Right.
of the mental side, and then
Yes,
add to it the spiritual side.
right.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's beautiful.
Mm-mm.
So how do you integrate that spiritual part? You mentioned energy. uh,
Mm-hmm.
is it how do you bring that in your healing process and in your accompanying?
So when I say spiritual, it doesn't need to be like religious or any organized faith. What I mean by that is aligning to what feels good to you
Hmm.
versus feeling obligated or versus having the resistance. So it could mean like your work, no? Like you're already burnt out with work and it doesn't feel in alignment with your values.
Hmm.
So then you have to dig in like what really is your passion? What
Mm,
really are your gifts? So the same thing with me, right? Like it wasn't already in alignment with my values. Even
mm,
though I intend to serve my heart out in the insurance corporate medicine setting, it just was not in alignment anymore. So
mm.
then you have the courage to really step out and really like honor what feels good to you.
Okay.
And that takes a lot of courage, you
It
know? Like
does. It
quitting
does.
corporate, quitting whatever job that's
Oh
uh,
my God. Of course it does.
like have like a consistent income, you know?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
You know, I always say that. It's like you need to choose between what field you want to stay in. If you want to stay in the field of predictability, you have the income, you have the salary, you have the retirement. That's one thing, and it has its rule. You work hard and really hard.
Right.
And then if you choose another field, which is that field where you are, which is possibilities, because the sky
Mm-hmm.
is like the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Not even, you can go beyond. Just get
Exactly. You put
goals.
the cap off.
Yes, you open the box.
Right. And then back to the word spirit, no, then you feel more alive because
True.
there's also that excitement. So some people translate the fear, but it's actually really exciting.
It is. It
You
is.
know, like if you can really be your own cheerleader.
That's true. You have to. You gotta
Yes,
be. Yeah.
yes.
How
Mm-mm,
did you cheer yourself up? Like, how were you your own cheerleader? Because you did that, right? And it was right before COVID, and then it was a lockdown, right? When
mm,
you started your practice.
mm-mm.
How was that process for you?
Oh, that's a great question. I think just many things. No, I do a lot of exercises from visualization, meditation,
Mm,
affirmation, but it's me also being in that lean back and trusting that it will work out and
I love
trusting that the people will feel my heart.
Yeah.
I want to serve them. I want to hear them and I want to not dismiss their symptoms,
Mm.
not just to give you a prescription, you know?
Mm.
Um, and knowing that hearing my patients' stories also encouraged me, like, okay, I'm on the right track. They
Good.
feel good coming here. I mean, if you can see my space, I also made it that they feel at home.
Wonderful. I love
It's not
that.
like a clinical
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Except that thing you have hanging in the wall that says you're a doctor. So that's the only thing you have. But you have flowers and you're beautiful. So it feels good.
Yeah.
But that's
Mhm.
okay because they come to see a doctor. So they need to
Exactly.
also feel safe from a scientific
Right. Right.
point as well, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I love that. So it's like more, is it a therapeutical approach? How do you see it? It's like what you offer. Is it a medical therapy? Is it coaching? Is it mentorship? What is it that you help them
Um, the brick and mortar in Tucson is more medical.
with? Hmm.
And I also offer coaching and mentorship online. So it's a more global
Oh, okay.
reach. So it's not just me being an MD, but also a coach.
Amazing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And a coach, what do you do? How do you help people? How do you help? Is it women and men, or is it just women? I mean, how is your business organized?
Yeah. So it's mostly women.
Hmm.
But what's interesting is my marketing is absolutely women's health, women's coaching, but men still find me. Um,
Yeah,
they know, like,
it's the same for me too. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I do have a framework. It's called the Thriving Life Framework.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we go through like mindset training to hormonal balancing, making sure
Mm.
your hormones are um, feeling peaceful. And
Ah.
a lot of the,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was my question, like hormonal balancing. What does it really mean? It's like How do you know if they're, well, that's from blood tests and everything, right? To know how are the hormones, but how do you feel that they will calm and they will come back to normal?
Right. So good question. I would say, if you're having your menstrual cycle without PMS, you're balanced. If you're on your menopause without hot flashes, you're balanced. PMS and menopause is optional.
Wow.
It's optional.
Incredible. Yeah. Mm.
Oh, I've seen women who are just feeling very good about their hormonal health. We don't need to suffer. I look forward to having my periods.
Mm. It's part of your cycle. It's part of your well-being.
Yes.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you dread, because often that's how we see it, but that's because this, everybody, the signal, what we absorb is that, oh, that's a tough time, that's a period, it's going to have hard, it's going to pain. So
Exactly. And
yeah.
that's one of what I was saying, the stories. What are the
Mm.
stories that you attach and give meaning to your women's health? Like
Mhm.
when you keep hearing like, oh, getting pregnant and giving birth is like so painful. Like really? It
Yeah.
was until like the 1800 with when Queen Victoria got the first epidural or anesthesia.
Yes,
No, not
that's
epidural,
true.
the general anesthesia. So
Yeah,
for since the early ages, there was no documentation that birthing was suffering and painful.
that's true. Nowhere we heard that. That is so very true.
But
So
now
true.
the narrative is different.
Yeah, then everything is about pain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything is about why are you not getting an epidural? You don't
that's
need
right.
her. And yet, birthing is one of the most sensual and orgasmic event that can happen for you because the or hormones of orgasm is the same hormones as birthing, oxytocin.
Mm.
So
Okay.
reframing how our body works can give you that empowerment, can
Mm-hmm.
give you that trust that we are meant to birth, we are meant to have these periods, and we don't need to dread it. And we are meant to have a pause, like we're done with our fertility and we don't need to suffer.
Right. And so it's all in the mind. So it's incredible. So your thinking affects the pain you go through in your own body. And
Mhm.
that's from a hormonal dysfunctioning.
Yes,
So you link the thoughts and emotions to hormones.
yes,
That's how they affect the body.
yes, yes.
How do you dig further into linking the hormones with the energy? How?
Hmm.
Scientifically. How will you do that?
Scientifically, so there's, the visualization to the breath work to the embodiment to, could be like acupressure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there are many research showing like for example, like a lot of athletes they rehearse in their minds the competition, and what they've found is regardless if you're just rehearsing and visualizing and or actually being in competition, it fires and wires the same map
Incredible.
in your brain. So when
Incredible.
you're thinking about it, it's already true in your body.
Wow. Yes. Mm. The
So you have
power
to
of the mind.
first, like, oh, my PMS is gonna be go away, or my periods are pleasurable. I use my hormones to serve me rather than resist with me. So something like that.
I love that.
Mm-mm.
Or like the delivery will be easy. It will just be so smooth and easy. So you train your mind
Right,
to
right.
feel that way about your body.
Yes,
Incredible.
yes,
It's no, this is so powerful because we link a lot of even diseases, and there are psycho somatic, so it's very linked to the way we think about ourselves, and it's the same way. It's really,
right,
how can you empower every cell of your body to be healing yourself,
yes,
healing your body rather. Yeah.
right. And there's a lot of shame around pressing pause when you're on your cycles or when you are pregnant or maternity leave. Like we mold women, no, we mold ourselves into like the male biology, like because you
Mhm.
need to prove yourself in corporate, like I can't take day off or do the maternity leave. Like there's a lot of guilt and shame versus honoring your cycles and how women were built will give us that creativity and leadership that is beyond
Yeah.
we can do when we mold ourselves in the masculine.
I absolutely I love it. I do a lot of my work is on that, which is
Mm,
how that we need to shift away from this masculine paradigm of
mhm,
doing things,
right.
proving yourself, just doing so much more just so that you can feel you deserve just being who you are. And
Mm,
and even the paradigm it says women need to work harder to prove themselves. Who said that? We program every woman to feel that way. And so as soon as you get into an executive position or in corporate position, you feel that you need to overwork yourself because that's what it says. And so that's how you are programmed. But
yeah.
when you shift that and you get into your feminine energy, like truly feminine energy of letting yourself just be who you are, celebrating who you are, receiving and be grateful. It's like we don't let ourselves, we think we need to prove and work to be able to get something.
Yes.
It's exhausting and draining.
It is. And I love reminding my women of this analogy of how we are wired to produce without really working the same way as men do. And that receivership, the divine feminine, biologically, we are meant to receive literally a sperm.
Yes.
And do we need to work hard to do all that inside to build the
No.
human? No, it's
Yeah.
just our wiring.
Yeah. It's
As
just by being who we are, we
being.
create.
Exactly. And the same way with corporate, it's the same way with, studying. Like as long as you can also lean back a little bit, boom, it's going to fire and wire. And we
Mm.
can be as productive and as efficient, but we don't need a lot of that time and overworking.
No, exactly. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love this. And this is how we can shift and change the world. If
Mm-hmm.
women starts really understanding, embracing, feeling like completely by being who they are is enough.
Right. Yes.
I mean, it's not like you're not gonna do anything and just wait for things to fall from the sky. No.
Yes.
But we know how to be excellent in
Yes.
whatever you take on as a work, responsibility, studying, pushing studies so far away.
Right. And
That's
so
it.
the very simple prescription I have for all your listeners, because that might sound like too like vague, like how do I lean back and be in my divine feminine energy and receive? It's literally like using your cycles. It could be sleep cycle, hormonal cycle, menopause. When you're having a tug from your body to pause, pause.
Mm,
If you need to like take a day off because you're on your period, have no shame or guilt. Because if you actually listen to your body, you will make up for time when you go back to work. You'll be like, "Oh, I feel so good. I'm going to be so productive."
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's so true.
Yeah,
Listen to your body. It's just like follow the rhythm
right.
of your body.
Yes,
The universal rhythm. I always say it's like, goes down and then it goes up.
yes.
Yeah. Very nice. That's beautiful. Hmm. Love that. So
Mhm.
how do you integrate that in your business today?
Ah. Well, I have no shame or guilt that my schedule is around my wellness,
Sure.
my family,
Of course.
because
You have two. You're a mother of two, yeah?
it's a mom of two, 4 and 2-year-old. So it's a very
Oh, that's
busy
sweet.
time of our
It's a
life.
it's a fun and busy time. I
Yes,
love those ages. So
yes.
beautiful.
I mean, honestly, starting out, I wasn't this like feeling empowered. Like I get to create my own schedule. There was a lot of guilt that I had to let go. But what I experienced is that my patients actually feel grateful that I live with integrity. Like some would even email me, thank you for setting up an example.
Oh, I love
It
that.
can be done. And because they know if I feel like I spent enough time with my babies before I left for work,
Yeah.
I am completely present for them. And then I
Yeah.
get to really serve them the way they should be, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's really nice. I am
Yeah.
a mother of four myself, so
Wow. Four.
so yes.
Yeah.
So, all what you say is music to my ear because
Yes.
that's how I am. You know,
Mm-mm.
you adapt, you celebrate every moment, and you
Mm.
embrace every time. It's like it's me too. I mean, my schedule is around them, but being an online business, it just makes it much easier because then I can really look after them and in the same time look after my, all the women that are in my work with whom I work, and all the women are in my mastermind, in the, the private containers, the programs.
Right.
So I'm able to organize that around me being a mother myself,
Yes. Yes.
mother of
Yes.
four. Oh, that's beautiful. So I know what you're saying about breastfeeding and having to
Mhm.
really be there around. There's
Mhm.
such there's a difference when you are there. There is a connection that's
Right.
in you and also in your child also.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And I tandem fed for 2 years. So two babies
You
breastfeeding.
you
So
press for 2 years. Oh my God, I salute you, doctor.
and
You are something.
up to now I'm breastfeeding my 2-year-old. So I hope the women out there hearing this is that you can create your life how you want it
Exactly.
and
It's
still
like not
make
even you can create your life. It's like the message is just go and
yeah,
create your life the way you want it to be.
yes,
Not
yes,
like really, just
yes,
go on and design it
right,
as you want it
right.
and let it happen. Let it be. Like
Mm-hmm.
give birth to it. Just trust that the
Yes,
whole mechanics was
yes.
perfectly divine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's really nice.
Yes,
Well, congratulations for being such a delight and for having, taken the step, because often the courage to do something. I mean, and the courage, we cannot find it inside of us. It's like something, someone, a love of someone needs to be there for you to feel the courage to carry on. Your
right,
daughter played that role
right,
because you're like, your daughter is going to just be there, love you forever. So no matter what you do, you're going to be okay. You're going
right,
to be mom. And often us as a mother and women, when we are nurture and we get nurture, the relationship with the children, you often get the courage from the love you
mm-hmm.
give and you
Yes,
receive.
yes, absolutely,
So,
absolutely. So good. Well, actually, after my morning block, I really have like a 2-hour break so I can be in my feminine and play with them and all the oxytocin, juicy
yeah,
hormones.
yeah,
Versus the dopaminergic, which is the very masculine, check, 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 check. I did that.
right.
Like how I go with my cycles, no?
Interesting. So inside your day, you break it. You're like little masculine, little feminine. I like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I
And
like.
a lot of women would also, have low libido and they say it's my hormones. And sure, part of that it's true, but I think it's because we grind that 8 hours without that pleasure pause. So our
Mm,
system doesn't have now a map of what pleasure is because we don't get
mm,
that space in our day. So how
mm.
can we turned on at night if you didn't have any pockets of peace or turn on during the day? So it's
Yeah,
hard.
because you need to feel the emotions. I
Exactly.
like that. Yeah, and I always say that it's like, what is that frequency that you
Mhm.
find yourself more of during the day? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you need to balance them. If you feel like more into masculine, working, 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 it's gonna go higher up than the other one. Instead
Right.
always have to somehow visit it with
Exactly.
me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You have to have still that frequency, that awareness that that's inside of you.
Yes.
Versus like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're already like, and then you wake up that pleasure. Like it's gonna take a bit more hard
You're
work.
so funny. This is so fun. I absolutely love our conversation. We need to do a part two.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
please.
I'm sure there will be a lot of questions, and it's
Yeah,
just so fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
You
love to. I mean,
yeah.
I have so many things to contribute to your audience, so I
Yes.
would love to.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's plan another one where we give them some tips and hints about,
Yes,
how to balance the hormones, how to feel feminine and beautiful and sexy and delightful in the evening, and just like a big CEO, a big boss, yeah,
right.
in your work, and just
Yes.
all of them, like walk with all those frequencies together.
Mhm. And I love you say frequency. Honestly, I was like, can I say that word? Because I know you're like corporate and finance, and I mean before, so but
That's
I
so
love
great.
to
That's
do that.
amazing. Patricia, but I'm an engineer, right?
Mm.
And completely very corporate, but I'm like, I have gone through so many things that leveled me up spiritually. So now my work, it is business, it is mindset, a lot of mindset and everything around energy, because it's energy that drives
Yeah,
everything. In fact, business, all of the business is successful when you understand that it's spiritual. That's when it becomes successful.
I love that. And I'm having goosebumps because it's so true. And the same thing with health. No?
Yes.
If you understand it's all like spiritual too. The strategy is
Yeah.
like 20%. It's really like understanding the heart and meaning and the spirit behind healing and wealth. Uh,
Yes.
so
And the
yeah,
strategy, you will always find the right strategy. Always.
right.
Because decisions comes from intuition, and that's actually spiritual.
Yes. Yes.
So it's really when you understand all that. I studied a lot decision theory, theory, all this operation research behind it and everything. But when you are faced with making a decision fast, you follow the intuition. You don't have time to go and do the model and so
Yes. Yes.
intuition.
And that's like pure feminine power, right?
Hmm.
And
Yes.
in the corporate space, it's almost like not encouraged to talk about words like intuition or
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
This is our power as women. We are emotional beings, and emotion is power. Intuition is power.
Yes, although now we see more of the emotional intelligence
Yes.
starting to kind of blossom
Yes.
around corporate and leadership way of being. And so
Yes.
and that's my work. My work is really how to help leaders become great leaders by bringing empathy in their lives. And empathy start by understanding their mindset, their emotions, and being able to influence others' thinking, emotions, and way of being. And
I,
that's what I do.
yes.
That's how I leveled up in my own way of being. So it's not that I'm going further away from the corporate world. No, I am making the corporate world more empathy. And that's what the world needs more of today.
Yes, beautiful. I love that. Yeah. And I bet that would also help us, healers,
Of
because
course.
they can emotionally use regulating and emotional intelligence. So there's not like almost like suppressing who they are,
Yes.
because it shows up in anxiety and depression because they feel like they need to like shut off their emotion to make it
Yeah, exactly. Well, but that's what you used to be, right? When we
right.
put the suit on, we're like very, it's like, okay, can't be more masculine than that. That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Love
nice.
it. Mhm.
Love it too. You are amazing. And I would love to do another discussion like this. And I wish you all the success and
Thank you.
everything you want and all the dreams come true for this beautiful business that you are doing. Thank you for
Wonderful.
your
Thank you.
time
Thank you
today.
for having me.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I loved it. Sending you so much love. Bye bye.
Same here. Bye.
And bye to everyone. This was such a beautiful discussion. If you have any questions, write it, send this to us, to me, to Dr. Patricia. I'm going to put the link for you as well, on LinkedIn and Facebook and on YouTube, so that if there are any questions, and we'll definitely do a part two for this fun the conversation.
Yay. Okay, looking forward to that.
Bye.
Lovely.
Bye.
Bye.